Do your thing.
Putting out a call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, to the creator, the destroyer in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that's holding you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere and it's right in your face. Let's go.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. Love, wisdom, power. Remember always who you are. Yes, yes, I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes, yes, I am. Love, yes, power. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes, yes, I am. Love, wisdom, power. Master. Yes, I am. Yes, love, wisdom, power. Yes, I am. Say to yourself, yes, I am. Protect. Yes, I am. Master. I am. Yes.
Greetings and welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. I want to thank you, Brother Baraka, for that awesome opening. We didn't have a meeting last week, family, but we're going to proceed forward in tonight's meeting. But before we do, let's call down our ancestor, ascended master, ancestral army. Before we begin, let us also be aware that we are the ocean of awareness in the form of a wave. And most of us, we don't remember our previous characters and incarnations. So just to balance the energy, let's start first by moving out of that monkey-centric chicken head mind back to the sea of love that lives in our hearts. So let us begin. Yes, I am ready to surrender, sundance, and sing into my heart, to burn my selfish ego and all its ugly ways, cast aside all my fears into the liquid flames of passion living within my heart. Throw away my monkey mind ego. Let it bubble, boil, and burn into funky smoking ashes, so my heart and soul flies free. Yes, I am ready to free fall and die, to sink deeply into the sea of love within my heart. Burn, ego, burn, die, devil, die. Let my heart be free, so my heart and soul can fly. Just let go and just flow. And yes, I am forgiving all living souls from my past lives. And yes, I am asking all living souls from my past lives to please forgive me, because I don't remember. And yes, I am forgiving all living souls in this life. And yes, I am asking all living souls in this life to please forgive me. Yes, I am ready to surrender and totally let my mind just die, offered as the ultimate sacrifice into the burning flames of love living within my heart. I will relax and witness my chicken head monkey mind fears blow bubbles and drown into the sea of love within my heart. Yes, I am ready to dissolve in the warm water of love. Exhale all my ego fears through my deep breath and inhale with intention the sea of love within me. And within my heart, yes, I am ready to relax into the warm waters of my heart's awesome magnificence. Within my heart, yes, I am the most amazing and glorious miracle of stupendous magnitude. Although my heart's more powerful and magical than my mind can ever imagine, I am ready to be carried away by the powerful riptide and undercurrents within my heart. Yes, I am ready to dive into the sea of love, hidden deep within my heart. Yes, I am. Now, let us begin the invocation together. I am within me. I am within you, the listening audience. I am within the sea of life. In the name of love, we call upon our ascended master ancestors. We are calling to start forces of nature that lives within us. We are calling in the name of love, Elegba, goddess of love that lives in our hearts, Oshun Heteru, known by many names throughout time. We welcome you to this platform. Yemaya, Mother of Ocean, we welcome you to this platform. Shango, Ogun, Ochosi, Olokun, Oya, Obatala, Oromila. And we call on angels of healing to be with us in the name of love. Enoch, the Ethiopian who ascended to the heavens and became Metatron, be with us tonight. Archangel Michael, angel of protection, we ask in the name of love that you surround each of us now and in the future with blue lightning protection day and night for ourselves, our family, and our loved ones, our children, our relatives. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Angel of healing, Archangel Raphael, we welcome you to be with us tonight on this platform. Archangel Uriel, angel of enlightenment and knowledge, we welcome you to be with us tonight. We call on Archangel Gabriel, angel of strength, to roll with us through this dream time lifetime. We call on angels Camiel, Chamiel, Seraphim, Cherubim to be with us as we invite Melchizedek to come be a part of our show. We invite Imhotep, Ptahotep, Akhenaten. We invite Quetzalcoatl, White Buffalo Calf Woman. We invite Ascended Masters, Simeon Toko, the latest Christ born in the Congo. For him to be with us on the show tonight. We ask Sheikh Amadou Bamba, Sheikh Ibafal, to be with us tonight. I call on my big brother, our big brothers, Saint Germain, Nikolai Tesla, Wilhelm Reich. We call on Kuthumi, Master Himalaya, Ascended Masters of Atlantis, Ascended Masters from the land of Mu to join us tonight. We ask the presence of Lakshmi. We call on Buddha, Krishna. Yes, we call on divine intervention, ascended masters, Seraphis Bey. Call on the ascended masters from the Sirius star system, the Dogon star system, Orion star system, Palladian star system, multi-dimensional intergalactic ascended masters, please come and intervene upon the monkey mind, chicken head, surface leaders, and all leaders, human and non-human, so we may have them guide our pearly planet into love supreme, love's wisdom, and love's miracles. And to all the Buddhas and all the advanced souls who live in the hollow of the earth, we welcome you to hear our call and join us so we may elevate, transmutate, activate, accelerate to our divine love light, and may we shine day and night. We call on all our brothers and sisters to peel away all that is less than love supreme. And I want to thank all the listening audience now and in the future. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the airport adolescence of your youth. And together we say, Ashe, Aho, Donada, Wado. And as our African Hawaiian brothers and sisters say, Mahalo, Mahalo, Mahalo. Meaning thank you. So, before we bring on Professor Bey, I want to thank everyone in the audience. Nate Thompson. All right. I want to thank Patolo Bay. I want to thank Dwayne Johnson. I want to thank Kazai Sido, Miss Vicky. I want to thank Rick. Facts. I want to thank Slim D. Zul. She. Stephen Williams. And before we start the show, family, I want to share with you a recent insight on a superfood that I know can benefit you. And if you can, let me move the comments. I want you to tap into this. It's called Baruca nuts. And this is from South America. It's from the Amazon. And it is literally a superfood. It has less calories than any other nuts. High quality protein that keeps you full for hours. Because, it's summer's coming. We want you to present and look your best. More fiber than most other nuts so that you can blow your plumbing. Also, it's known as simply one of the healthiest nuts in the world. And you can get this. And they look like we showed you right here. These are what the nuts are. Tap in, family. Tap in. Because nutritionally, we need to be the best we can be through what we eat. And we can literally provide success physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone in the audience who has been patient. Had some beautiful breakthroughs, family. I'm going to share with you in the future. But the big orders now I'm going to be working on, and the smaller ones too, with something I call a vibranium. That's the code name, a vibranium breakthrough that amplifies crystals, amplifies orgone, and amplifies your personal magnetism and charisma. Because one of my favorite places to be, with the exception of being outside, is in the lab. patience and persistence, my brothers and sisters, in all our endeavors. Because the sea of love that we are in, the fishbowl of water, is electrically orgasmic bliss. We are there moment by moment. And the only thing that filters our electromagnetic bliss is that Western chicken head monkey mind, beta brainwave state that prevents you from feeling bliss day by day, moment by moment. All right, here we go. I'm going to call Professor Bay and let him rock the house. And here, let me see. Oops, wrong phone. Here he is.
Greetings.
Greetings, bro. Greetings. Okay.
Greetings. Can you hear me clear?
You got a little bit of electrical distortion in the background. If you could
Hold on.
clear that up, that would help. And I'm setting up the microphone.
All right. What about now?
That's better.
Better?
Yeah, family. Let me know how that sounds. How does Professor sound? You got two people waiting in the queue for
Okay, good.
for your
What's the names?
Felicia and Timothy L.
Okay, good. We're going to let Timothy L go first, and then we'll let Felicia go. If anybody else come before he finished, let them go. I want to save Felicia from sort of like last.
All right, so go ahead and do your opening, bro.
Okay, thank you, sir. And then after we finish the prayer, we'll bring them on and let them talk it up.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Shadu la ilaha illallah. Shadu la ilaha illallah. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah. Shadu anna Muhammed Rasulullah. Shadu anna Muhammed Rasulullah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Come to prayer. Come to prayer. Hayya ala filah. Hayya ala filah. Come to your good. Come to your good. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. La ilaha illallah. There is no deity but Allah. Hayya ala filah. Come to your good. As-salatu kahiram minan ni'am. As-salatu kahiram minan ni'am. Prayer is better than sleep. Prayer is better than sleep. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Peace be upon thee and Allah's blessings. Peace be upon thee and Allah's blessings. I thank you, family, once again. That was the opening of the prayer. And I'm going to give you something from the Bible and the Quran so we'll get a fair balance. I am in Bear with me 1 minute here, family.
Take your time, brother.
Thank you, sir. I'm in Exodus. Exodus, verse 6. Exodus, I think, is chapter 6, verse 8 and 9. And it reads, "And I will bring you into the land which I swore to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I will give it to you as a heritage. I am the Creator." So Moses spoke thus to the children of Israel. But, listen to the but, they did not heed Moses because of an anguish of spirit and cruel bondage. You see, that's how some of us feel right now. We've been under that wicked taskmaster. So no matter how much I pipe, it's your spirit about you wanting to be free. Because you mad because of your wicked taskmaster. So no matter what I say, some of you are not going to follow it. But let me go on. We're in Joshua 18. Joshua 18. Verse 3 and verse 4. Then Joshua said to the children of Israel, "How long will you neglect to go and possess the land which the Creator of your father has given you? Pick out from among you 3 men for each tribe, and I will send them. They shall rise and go through the land, survey it according to their inheritance, and come back to me." Verse 5, "And they shall divide it into 7 parts. Judah shall remain in their territory on the south, and the house of Joseph shall remain in their territories on the north." Verse 6, "You shall therefore survey the land in 7 parts, and bring the survey here to me, that I may cast lots for you here before the Creator our God." That's your Bible. I'm going to give you something from the Quran, and then we'll get on into the show. Can you still hear me clear, Hank?
Yeah, you sound clear. I just want to ask you a real quick question, bro. I'm just uploading the video that you wanted me to share. So what does that scripture mean? Because it sounds good, but what does it mean? The one you just read.
About Joshua?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, Percy Patel is also in the queue.
okay. Well, we say that this is our land.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Morocco. And you all always hear me say that this is mortgages is warfare. So now I'm telling you now to take your property that sits on some land, and you're going to go into that county and you're going to file it in there. So basically what we're doing here is going back after our inheritance. But see, now they got us doing their way, their paperwork, in order to get our inheritance back. So what I'm trying to explain to you all, it doesn't matter what they throw at us, because we've always been a people like the Anunnakis. So you see, no matter what stones they throw, I probably wouldn't have thought in a million years that it would be me. giving you all this, I never thought that. But I'm here now. And when I tell you all, I know what I'm doing. I didn't say I believe. I say I know what I'm doing. And I'm trying to show you how to get some of your inheritance back. If you stop being stiff-necked, hard-hearted, and rebellious. But see, no matter how you fight with me, I'm still going to go on. Because remember, before you and I met, I was on that path anyway. Even when I was getting my butt kicked, I stood the test of times with it. The race is not to the swift, but the one who can endure to the end. That's the only thing I'm doing, dear brother. And this may be in a small minute of what I'm doing, but this is what I'm doing.
I like what you just said. It makes me think of our folks have what you would say, not everybody, but a large part, cognitive dissonance. Family, look that up. Cognitive dissonance means that when you come across new information, because you've been raised to be a duck, imagine a lion, the mother is taken away from the cub, and the cub is left with ducks, and the cub thinks it's too is a duck until a free lion comes and say, wait a second, cub, you're not a duck. Why are you trying to quack like a duck? And the duck sounds come from the cub saying, don't eat me, quack, 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 don't eat me. And the wild lion says, oh, I got to take you down to the pond so you can see your reflection. So the information that Professor Bay shares with the sleeping and those of us who forgot that we forgot, we experience cognitive dissonance. Look it up, family, because when you speak of Moorish science, Moorish law, and Moorish remedy, the first reaction to the sleeping is cognitive dissonance, laughter, confusion, followed by anger, and finally action. Please continue, Professor.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm in the Holy Quran, chapter 21, verse 33. And he, it is who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon, and float in orbits. Every soul must taste of death, and we taste you by evil and good by way of trial. And to us you are returned. Man is created of haste. Soon will I show you my signs. So ask me not to hasten them. Now I'm in chapter 22, verse 5. O people, if you are in doubt about the resurrection, then surely we created you from dust, then from a small life germ, then from a clot, then from a lump of flesh, complete in make and incomplete, that we may make clear to you. And we cause what we please to remain in the womb till an appointed time. Then we bring you forth as babies, then that you may obtain your maturity. And of you is he who is caused to die, and of you is he who is brought back to the worst part of life, so that at the knowledge he knows nothing. And thou seest the earth barren, but when we send down their own water, it stirs and swells, and bring forth a beautiful growth of every kind. Verse 8, and among men is he who dispute about Allah without knowledge, and without guidance, and without an illuminating book. Now I'm in chapter 25, verse 54. And he it is who has created man from water. Then he has made for him blood relationship and marriage relationship, and thy creator is ever powerful. And they serve 55. And they serve besides Allah that which can neither profit them nor harm them, and the disbelievers is ever an aider against his creator. 56. And we have not sent thee but a giver of good news, and as a warner. So in other words, I'm being one of the good shepherds. What do I mean by that? All my struggles in it, all my pains, all of my ups and downs, changes and turnarounds. I wasn't selfish. I looked back for you all when I could have kept going forward. You see, that's a good shepherd. See, you can tell a pastor according to his flock. If the flock is raggedy, that means he's not a good shepherd. So I'm trying to show you all the way. I know what I'm doing. That's it, Brother Hank.
Yeah, that sounds good, bro. I want to read this. I'm putting it on the screen, family. Cognitive dissonance. This is why people get upset when their beliefs are challenged. A mental conflict occurs when beliefs are contradicted by new information. This conflict activates areas of the brain involved in personal identity and emotional response to threats. The brain's alarms go off when a person feels threatened on a deeply personal and emotional level, causing them to shut down and disregard any rational evidence that contradicts what they previously regarded as truth. My Moorish brothers and sisters, be aware, cognitive dissonance is part of the wash cycle to free your mind. All right? Okay.
Yes, sir,
we got you. All right.
Anybody, how many of them? Still 2 up there?
3.
Okay, bring the
Do you want the video first or you want to bring them?
Bring them first.
Okay. All right. So let me move let me bring Timothy L. Add to stream. Timothy is not connected. And also Percy Patah. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Can y'all hear us? Can you hear me? Felicia, can you hear me? Unmute your mic, Felicia.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. And Percy, unmute your mic. Well, Percy must have went to the kitchen to make a peanut butter sandwich. All right. Okay, so let's start with Timothy L. We don't have a connection. So Felicia, unmute your mic and tell us what you're going to share.
Good evening, everyone.
Greetings.
Mr. Bay, how are you?
Magnificent, marvelous, great. So thank you.
Oh, wow. I don't even know where to begin, but okay, so we've known Mr. Bay for less than 3 months. I contacted him on January 12th in respect to getting the 98 number, and we made it happen on January 22nd. After that, I requested a list of everything I needed to do to pretty much become a free woman. So he provided the list, told me what the fee was for everything. And I went down each bullet point. We went step by step. I sent him the money. He provided the information. And it was pretty much paid off, I think, by the ending of February, beginning of March. And so I made preparation for him to come down last week, the 24th of March, to pretty much file the paperwork. And so it was interesting because I was so fixated on just making sure I get his hotel, his rental, the flights. Okay, I don't know what
We
that
could,
was.
Professor, I think you have to. You got a lot of electrical distortion around you.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
What about now?
that sounds good. Please continue,
Okay.
Felicia.
Okay, so I was focused more so on making sure I booked his flight, the car rental, the accommodations. And I know I had gone to the site for the actual county, like where we needed to go. And I remember as soon as I got to the site, it was like because of COVID, everything needs to be you have to call to make an appointment. But that slipped my mind because I was just like, okay, let me just get him here, right?
Mm,
So he arrives that Wednesday and I meet him at the airport. We get his rental and we're planning to pretty much go Thursday morning. So when I meet Mr. Bay, it was like I've known him forever. Like we just immediately just started talking and he's just knowledgeable. So he was just running things down and I was just like it's just such a blessing to really be in the presence of someone that has the knowledge that I've been wanting all my life because it's it's never felt right here in this world, right? And I knew at some point I would get divine truth. And so, I'm living in the right space and time. So we get the rental. He goes to the airport. We make dinner. He comes over for dinner. We're talking, and then we
wait a second.
prepare.
Who made dinner? You made dinner, or Professor Bay made dinner?
No, the queen made dinner. All right.
Go ahead.
Yes, yes. So it was such a good evening. I can't. It's hard to really express in feelings how natural and authentic the engagement with this man was. It's like my husband, the three of us at the table, and we're just sharing knowledge, right? And he's just feeding us the
Mm,
information. And so it gets late. We're like, we got to get up the next morning. So while we're eating, I'm like, you know what? I didn't make the appointment, but I'm like, hey, let's just we'll think about it in the morning. So I get a text early Thursday, and Mr. Bay says, call them and see if we can just come up there. Right. And then I go to the website, and of course, I still see the same message that you have to make an appointment. So, of course, I call, and the person says, oh, no, you can't just walk in. You have to send the email. And then it takes she literally says about 5 to 10 days for them to respond to get the appointment. So I said, okay, give me the email. And so I kind of was like, all right, if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with it because Mr. Bay is coming back anyway because we have to do my husband's. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and send the email. But at the same time, I know that like I am a God, right? And I create my reality. So I said, listen, I'm going to send the email as if like, oh, I need to file some paperwork and I would like to come today. Can you fit me in or whatever? So I sent the email. At the same time, I'm texting Mr. Bay, and then I think he calls me, I call him, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we got to make an appointment. So he's like, all right, well, send the email, but let's just go up there. And I was just like, right, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, we have nothing to lose where I'll send in the email, request the appointment, but let's just go up there because Mr. Bay flew in from Florida, and I'm like, all the paperwork is signed. We need to get this done. So we get up there, and sure enough, they have the security at the door, and you know I know when to step aside because Mr. Bay, he has a way of words and know what to say. So he speaks to this gentleman like, listen, I flew in from Florida and I'm here to file some documents. And I spoke to someone in your office, and they did not tell me that I need to make an appointment. And so we pretty much need to file these paperwork today. So the gentleman was like, oh, you need to go to the county records. So he's like, come on, we'll take you. And then we walk in, but then he realizes like, okay, well, you got to go back outside and stand in line, because anyone who had an appointment needs to stand in line and they can see you outside. So someone comes outside, and of course they're like, do you have an appointment? So Mr. Bay steps in again and explain. And he's like, okay, well, just wait right here. Someone will come out. So this woman comes out, and she has this paper and pen, and it looked like she's ready to like give us an appointment. But I'm thinking, okay, it may not be an appointment for today, and maybe for another day. So Mr. Bay goes into basically like, look, I understand what you're telling us, because she's like, well, if you called, then the message would have told you that you needed an appointment. And he's stuck to his guns. He's like, look, I know what you're saying, but I know I was told, right? I was told that I didn't have to make an appointment, that I can come down here and I can file the paperwork. And so since I flew in from Florida, how can we make this right? Like, can we get this done today? So she's like, and you could tell she was kind of nervous, because first of all, Mr. Bay is like, he's dappered, right? You just like, he has his suit on, and we're all looking professional. So it was just like, okay, like she was sort of nervous. And so she's like, well, I can squeeze you in, but you have to come back at 4:30. But prior to that, she's looking at the paperwork, and I have like 4 DBAs, because I have 2 LLCs, and then I'm doing a DBA in my straw man name as well as my new spiritual name. So she's looking at the forms, and the forms that we had, it was for the actual state filing. And she's like, well, these aren't the right forms. You need to do the DBA with the county forms. And she's like, okay, well, you have time to pretty much go get those done and come back and get them notarized and so forth. So it was like divine intervention, because had we actually gone in at that time, we would not have had the right forms, and we would have had to get it notarized and all of that. So we were able to pretty much go back home. I got the right forms, and we got there at 4:30, and it took us literally like, maybe we were there at most 15 minutes, right? And at first, when we got there, the gentleman, now if you see Mr. Bay's forms, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, like you're not gonna credit. He's polished. You get where I'm coming from? I'm looking over these documents, and even before he comes, like he's gonna send you the documents to proofread. If you have any questions or corrections, you can pretty much email him. But because this is all new to me, a lot of it I pretty much had to read and figure out, okay, well, what does this mean? But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, it's gonna, more knowledge comes to you as long as you play with it and you keep moving with the flow of it. So needless to say, we're there, and the clerk looks at the documents, and he's like, well, right in that space needs to be the date, and the date was the 25th. So it had a line, and the actual 25 wasn't in the space. So he's like, well, I don't think that we'll be able to accept these. So Mr. Bay was like, I don't understand. There's a date here, and I also noticed a date further up. So exactly. So he's like, well, I don't know. And he's like, well, let me speak to my supervisor. So he goes to the supervisor. And of course, the supervisor was like, yes, you can accept it. So off the back, he was just trying to like give us a hard time, because the 25 wasn't specifically in a certain position. But needless to say, we got around that. And once that was done, it took 10 minutes to file the paperwork. The fee probably cost me about $400. And basically it said, okay, it'll take 3 weeks for them to do whatever and then send the documents to me. So pretty much what the documents were, I did a warranty deed for my trust to now own my rental condo that I have. I also did a renunciation of the straw man. I did a UCC. I did the DB. I mean, I did the works, right? So that's pretty much what happened. And and the thing about it, it was just so effortlessly, right? Because what they do is they stamp everything, they're going to record it, and then they're going to send me my original documents. So now I'm like, okay, well, the mortgage is coming up. I have to pay the mortgage on the condo. And I'm like, well, technically, I'm not going to pay a dime at this moment because I filed my paperwork, and I'm just going to let it play out and see how things flow. But overall, the experience, when I tell you, was just like, it's it's unbelievable. Like when you actually do it, um, you get this freedom that is unheard of, right? And not only that, it furthers you to really study. So now I'm
Yeah.
online, and the things that Mr. Bay has spoken about, when I tell you he's on point, I mean he's on point. This man knows what he's talking about, and there is information that will back up everything that this man is saying. And the more that you do, the more courage you have to go even further. And the thing about it, you feel fearless. And the one thing I got of it, if you have a will, there is a way. And the universe is gonna open for you, and things are just gonna fall in place. And I am just so excited, really and truly, of what is to come, knowing that all this has been done, and it's just a matter of me just waiting, because I'm just waiting now to be able to go into the court and for a judge to sign off on these documents, because the method in which this man does it, let me tell you, it's sweet. It can't even be refuted, because once the documents are signed, like anything signed after 30 days pretty much becomes law, right? So
Yes.
we're just waiting. That's just the process of waiting. And then when we get a court hearing, he's going to come back out here, and I'm going to be able to join him in that feeling when he came out of that courthouse that day, when it was sunny and he was a free man. So I'm encouraging you guys. I'm telling you, you need to get with Mr. Bay. And the thing about it, he is the truth. Because I'm telling you, there are bogus people out there, and they have their ways of doing it, but it's not thorough. It's nowhere near like effective and legit as this man. He knows what he's talking about. And the thing I like about it is that it's off the radar. You get me? And that's how I am. Like, I'm doing what I need to do, but I'm not publicizing it. I'm just doing it to protect me and my family. But imagine if we all do it in this manner, where it's just like we become a collective, but we're getting things done. And the more that we can continue to like grow, it's endless possibilities. Because what this man is talking about is the truth. I'm constantly coming into other information that backs up what he's saying. It's not like he's just pulling it out of thin air. And he's right. Everything is fictitious. Everything is run under a trust. Every single thing is a trust. And all we're doing is using what they did to trap us to get out of it.
Mm.
And once you realize that, you like, especially, and it has to be a foreign trust, because if you do a domestic trust, you're going to just put yourself right back into it. But it has to be foreign. That's why the way in which this man is going about it, he leaves no stone unturned. When I tell you, he is thorough, meticulous. So I know I'm rambling, but I'm telling you, this is the person.
Go
He's the
ahead.
chosen one.
It's your testimony.
He's the chosen one. And I'm telling you, if you are as serious about it as I am, then this is the person that you need to get with, period. Because just imagine the village that we can create. I mean, Mr. Bay is family to us. Seriously, this man is authentic. He's genuine. He knows what he's talking about. And that's what I appreciate, because that's what I am. I'm the truth. I'm authentic. And I'm able to instantly detect when someone isn't. So I'm pleading with you guys. If you are really about your freedom, realize that everything from from the time we've gotten out of our mother's womb, it is fraudulent. It's a lie. The Wizard of Oz is so true. Okay, everything is a
Yeah.
lie, and all the institutions that they create, upholds the lie. So that's why you have to dig and you have to go in crevices to get truth. Because if you go to the institutions that you trust and believe and think that they have your back, you are not going to get the truth. Period. So I leave you with that. Put aside the fear and know that if you're ready, the universe is going to open, because we're in the age of Aquarius and truth is just trumps everything. Nothing can be hidden anymore. So
Thank you.
step out and own it.
Yes.
And I want to say this, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
They are a real beautiful family. They welcome me just like as if I was a family member.
Mm.
Wasn't no bourgeois and all of that. They was down to earth. We sat and, like she said, we talked, and of course, they was asking me questions. It started out kind of rocky. There was also something. I'm gonna just say a little bit on this, and something I did there also with her. What we did was Social Security Administration. But I'm not going to go into that right now until everyone is in the trust.
Cool.
And she did it that same day I was there, because it's a language you have to speak with the Social Security Administration to get that letter from them. Right. I'm not going to tell you all what it is now, how to do it.
You better not, brother.
but if you get in, once you get into the trust, I'm going to show you how to get that letter. Okay. So she got her letter. She got it that same day we did her trust. I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'm not gonna say no more. But don't y'all take me for light.
Listen, family.
She told you all just what she told you all because that's what she experienced.
I got a quote here from Franz Fanon. Sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence, as tonight, that works against that belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted.
Exactly.
It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable called cognitive dissonance. And because it is so important to protect the core belief, they will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that doesn't fit in the core belief.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move past that to the next testimony of our brother Percy Patah. Unmute your mic, brother, and thank you, Felicia.
Peace, family. How you doing?
We are
you
right,
hear me?
brother.
Wow, it's been great, sir.
That food dish that she talked about she cooked, man, making me want some biscuits and butter.
Yes,
Go ahead, Percy. Talk to us, man.
Yes, I got introduced to Professor Bay by Tony and Nicole Smith. And
hold 1 second. Professor, you got electronic distortion.
What about now?
Better. Okay, go ahead, Percy.
Yes, I got introduced by Tony and Nicole Smith to Mr. Professor Bay. I was doing the process, but I did like you said, Brother Hank. I made a consultation with Professor Bay. He took his time and he talked to me and he told me, yes, what you're doing, I understand what you're doing, but the process that you're doing is incorrect. He gave me some information, sent me some videos. I did my research, I did my study. I called the brother back and I told him I want to start this process because the information and the evidence that you show me is correct and the way I was doing it is improper. And I'm going to follow your way because I want my freedom, not only for me, but for my family. A lot of people don't understand that if you set yourself free, you could set your family free. Our problem in society is that we're always starting from the bottom. So I decided to go on with the process, put everything in express trust, like that my kids will have a head start in life. They don't have to start from where I started from. What the brother is saying is accurate. Give you the information. He's showing you the laws. I'm just telling your family it's time for us to get away from this fear. It's time for us to open our eyes and claim what belongs back to us. The only way you're gonna do this is following Mr. Professor Bay's ways and his process. It's working. He's not trying to con anyone out of anything. I'm just asking you, family, just be aware and alert. Just make a consultation. He's going to give you the evidence that you need. He's going to present the information that you need. It's nothing like being free and also having it set up for your kids to be free. What purpose are we living for if we're not trying to set up the next generation? That is my purpose for living. It's not just about me, it's my kids. This is why I want to learn this process. This is why I'm doing this process. So my family could be better off. I'm just telling everyone out there, you have family, you have loved ones, many of us has been uh dealt with foreclosures before. You think these people right now is not gonna come and just take what you have? Yes, they will. You need to stop playing games, stop procrastinating, and get your paperwork done before these people come out here and just try to take what you have. They have been robbing us for many years. It's time for us to get back what belongs to us. Claim our proper status. Do the paperwork. Get it done. We need to all get it done this year as much as possible. All I'm asking y'all to do is get your consultation, talk to the brother, and he will help you with the process.
You
And like
thank
the
you,
lady
brother.
says, I'll, I'll leave you with this quote. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but peace, love, and a sound mind. And if we come to that, we could all move forward in life. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but peace, love, and a sound mind. And the brother is putting everything he has to help his people. There's not too many people out there going to come back and reach their hand and pull somebody else up.
Yes, sir.
He's doing.
Yes.
He's trying to help us. I want y'all to open your eyes and let's move forward in life that we may have generation wealth and protect our assets for our family, our children, and our kids. And I leave y'all with that peace and love and
Peace and love.
prosperity.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank you for your words. Um, I want those who are doubting Thomases to actually set aside a time and go ahead and try taking on Mr. Bay in a consultation if you don't believe what he says is true. The I'm posting this right now. The ultimate ignorance is the rejection of something you know nothing about, yet refuse to investigate. And that's a quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer. All right. I'm gonna say I'm posting this up here also. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay. Um, Professor
Anybody else saying hey?
Timothy's having Timothy L. Islam brother. You're having trouble with your computer.
That's
Uh,
what he's saying.
yeah, he's having problems. I don't think he's figuring out how to push the button. And everything is everything. Yes, have everybody push the like button. Hit that like button for real. Thank you. Everything is everything. Timothy L's having technical difficulties,
Difficulties.
and maybe in the time while we're waiting for him to figure out how to push the button,
You
maybe you
want to
could do the
show? Yeah.
video. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and do the video.
Okay, here we
Yes.
go, family. Here's the video.
We should get it done.
Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Is there a post office close to here? No? Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, there is a main post office. It's not close by though.
Oh, okay, no. I was just hoping that was close to get there before 5, but if it's not, then...
There is one. Are you going there?
I just will Google it. Yeah.
There is one though. I can't tell you how to get there because I'm not familiar with it.
Is it like 2 minutes away?
Like 5 maybe.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can always Google it on my
So,
phone.
it's here. You see it right here? The post office is here.
Oh, okay.
Here's the address.
Let me put it in my phone.
4300 Speedway.
Oh, okay, it's like 7 minutes away.
You might make it by 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that's it. All righty. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, Professor Timothy, you're having technical problems. Look at the private chat because I want you to give me your phone number and I'll call you. But come on into the private chat, Timothy L, and text me your number and I'll call you and bring you on so that you can share your experience.
I think I can give it to you, Hank.
Text it to me, Professor. I don't want to blast his number, so he'd be having all kind of calls. Yeah.
I see.
Stand by, Timothy. Professor's going to give me your number.
Hold on, let me get it. Right
Timothy L, look at the private chat. We need to get your phone number, or you can call. Professor, you have conference call abilities on your phone?
now. Mess it up.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to you right now.
Hold on, family. In the meantime, while waiting, again, a lot of this is cognitive dissonance. So,
You ready?
okay, hold on. Okay, I got it, Professor. Hold on.
You got it?
All right, hold on, family. I'm going to call Timothy L right now. Hold on.
Thank you.
Professor, you got a lot of distortion.
Okay. That's better?
Yeah. What do you got over there? X-ray machine or something? Hold on. Islam, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect. Let me reconnect connect you with Professor Bay.
Is there any way we can go on video here?
You don't have the you can talk, brother, because I see you in the queue, but you don't have
Yeah.
you haven't tapped into the audio or
Right.
the.
I had a browser problem. My browser keeping me from coming on the screen.
Don't which browser was you using?
Well, I'm on an Android phone.
Oh, okay.
You know, one of these cheap LGs.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. Everybody's listening to you right now. Family, say peace to Brother Timothy L. You are live on the show, brother. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids.
Peace, Brother Tim.
Peace, my brothers. It's indeed an honor and a pleasure to be able to speak with the brothers and sisters. I want to give thanks to Allah for Brother Hank and his platform. I was browsing through YouTube and praying to Allah to send me somebody to help me with my problem. I had been dealing with some so-called dirty Moors in the past, and trying to get through a process, you know, to make sure everything was okay, and got caught up. And thanks to you, Brother Hank, and your platform, I was watching one night, and this has been since I think it was back in August, September when I first came across Brother Muhammad. And I want to thank Brother Muhammad for what he is doing. When I saw his name, I saw his email, and I saw his telephone number, and I was able to call him the very next day, and we had a talk about this process, because I've been trying to get through this process for a long time. You know, I've been researching this Moorish Divine and National Movement process since 2014.
Right.
So, you know, it's been a long ride.
I understand, brother.
It's been a long ride, and I haven't come across anybody who has actually been able to help me through the whole process. I even went through the SPC process, and to no avail. So I was kind of stuck. So once I heard Brother Muhammad and what he was doing, you know, I said, well, I found the right brother. And I thank Allah for that, because I prayed on it. You know, somebody got to help me get through this process.
Right.
So I want the brothers and sisters to understand that in this process, you gotta go from the beginning to the end. You gotta go from the beginning to the end, because this is real. They need to know that it's real. This is not a joke. And people, you know, our education was distorted. We don't know that we're in Morocco.
Right.
They didn't want to teach us anything about Morocco.
Right.
We're in Morocco. This is the Moroccan Empire.
And you know what?
Thank
And on that same note, even the genealogy is a lie, family. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's just go right to the chase. They will never say, "Oh, look, according to your DNA, you're a Moor. You're already home." They would rather stick you in the middle of China or East Africa than tell you you're Moor. So with that being said, it's a lie. They try to keep all doors locked so you stay in the darkness of ignorance.
Right.
Professor, you got to turn off that X-ray machine. Oh, there we go. I know he got some.
They teach you that in elementary. They can't teach you that in high school. They can't even teach you about that in college, because if they did, they would have to pack their bags up and get off our land.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, they would probably already be gone.
That's why
you know,
they lied and you actually had Moors sent to Africa to set up a pseudo country called Liberia.
Liberia, that's true.
Yep.
Amerigo, Liberia. Yes.
Yep.
But me and Brother Muhammad, we had a lot of things in common, and I love this brother. We talk all the time, and I love him. And so now I'm going through the process, to finish what I started, and I want to thank him for it. And I want these brothers and sisters out here, that thinking about going through this process, is once you get started, you need to stick with it to the very end to set yourself free. Set yourself free, because we're not free.
Right.
We're not free.
Ain't that the truth?
Even the Albions are not free.
Wow.
They're under the same corporate slave that we're under.
Wow.
But since we're home, we're going to get the benefit of proclaiming our nationality and going through this process. And I want to thank my brother, for everything that he is doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Praise, brother. That was very good. That was very good. Very good. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
With such a rich, this was like a chocolate cake of truth tonight, Professor Bey.
Oh, yeah.
It don't get better than this.
I got to give you some more over here when I get started. It ain't ended yet.
Yeah. So, family, we about to wrap it up. Professor, you have any closing words?
So we're gonna do a third one. We're gonna wrap it up now. It's 9:10.
9:15.
I at least wanted to give them something.
Man, you just gave them the gold kitchen sink. But go ahead if you got something else. They need a hand truck with this.
Well, I think it's something I need to say. Because remember you say, what's his name?
I don't want to blow him up.
Hang up. No, we
okay.
don't blow him up.
Okay.
We don't blow him up. But I want to touch on it. Maybe it'll, well, you know what? Let me just do this right here, because this is going to be a 3. I can see.
Do your thing, brother. Do your thing.
Okay. All right, family. Now, some people, I know y'all situations is about, I'm taking my property, I'm putting it into this trust, but I still got some questions. And I know, trust me, I know you still, even after you done seen me do it, seen them people file that paperwork, but you, in the back of your mind, you still got questions. Now, let me say this to you all, this right here. Now, your trust that you all set up. Now, down at your county, where you all are going to file your paperwork, that county has a situs. And you can put that in the chat, situs, S-I-T-U-S.
Oh, hold on. Let me type that in. I never heard of that before.
Oh, I want them to know what that means.
Hold on.
Sir.
Situs, S-I-T.
U-S.
Okay.
And tell them to please go and look that word up.
All right, now I'm posting it. Professor Bey family said, look up the word situs. It looks like sit us. Go ahead, brother.
Now, okay. The trust itself is a corpus body, which means Latin for body. Number 2, the principal, usually money, security, and other assets. A trust for a state as distinguished from interests or profits. Changing the trust situs may result in significant administrative and tax benefit. What do they mean when they say administrative? They are talking about the executor on how he or she executes. The word tax benefit is talking about accounting. Keep that in mind. The word tax benefit is talking about accounting. So you have to know both the administrative process and the accounting. Changing the situs to a more favorable trust and taxing state could result in significant savings from both an administrative and a tax perspective. You find these attorneys and accountants trying to find tax haven states that are more favorable trust and taxing state that could result in significant saving. Now, a lot of the Moors say this was done by Prophet Noble Jew Ali. When he left out of New Jersey and went into Chicago, Illinois, for this very same reason, which is more favorable to the Moors. Now, I have some questions about it, but that's another topic. I'm going to go on. Now, brothers and sisters, this is what I have shown you how to do with the Express Trust situs. I am going to show you how to change the trust situs to a more favorable trust, such as a foreign trust called the Express Trust with a 98 EIN number located in Taiwan. You have found a tax haven foreign country with more tax benefit and protection for the Express Trust and all trust parties. Keep that in mind, all trust parties. Moving a trust means changing its situs from one state to another. Generally, this isn't a problem for revocable trust. Now hear that now. It's not a problem for revocable trust, but it's a problem for irrevocable trust. If your trust is revocable, the grantor can be trustee and beneficiary. Say it again. If your trust is revocable, the grantor can be the trustee and beneficiary at the same time. In fact, it's possible to change the situs for a revocable trust by simply modifying it. If a trust is irrevocable, whether it can be moved depends in part on the language the trust document of the trust document. Generally, situs is a legal term that means the state whose courts have primary jurisdiction over a trust. See, that's key right there. Loosely defined, trust situs determines which governing tax laws a trust must comply with, generally based on the location in which it is legally resides. Even though you are filing your express trust in the county deed of records, your situs is located in Taiwan. Let me read it to you again. Even though you are filing your express trust documents into the county deed of recorder, your situs location is Taiwan. Look at UCC 9-102 definition 50. Did you put that in the chat, Hank?
Hold on a second. Let me
I don't want them to miss nothing, but I like to prove the point.
okay, say it again.
UCC 9-102 definitions.
Excuse me, y'all. Definition. Go ahead.
In parentheses, number 50. 50.
In
parentheses.
50.
And now watch what it says now.
Okay. I'm gonna put that up. Hold on. Let me post
Okay.
that.
Bless you.
Thank you. Okay, it's up. It's posted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I want y'all to look at that what Mr. Hank posted. UCC 9-102 definition 50. This is what it says. Jurisdiction of organization with respect to a registered organization means the jurisdiction under whose laws the organization is formed or organized. I hope you all caught that. Jurisdiction of the organization, which is talking about your express trust, with respect to a registered organization means the jurisdiction under whose laws the organization is formed or organized. Now, I told you your situs is formed in Taiwan, which means nothing that your state legislature can do anything in reference to your trust, because the situs is in Taiwan. Now, simplify assets transfer and reduce associated taxes with trust situs. Now, this is by a gentleman by the name of Myra Fine. Might be a female. Myra Fine's partner, private client practice. It says, trust situs is a complicated topic for many beneficiaries, fiduciaries, and trustees, and with good reason. Generally, situs is a legal term that means the state whose courts have primary jurisdiction over a trust. Loosely defined, trust situs determines which governing tax laws a trust must comply with, generally based on the location in which it legally resides. I want y'all to listen up now. Trusts can reside in many jurisdictions simultaneously, meaning at the same time, depending on the location of the trust income producing assets, the location of the trustees, location of trustee, or the location of the beneficiaries. This can lead to tax oversight, legal consequences, and significant challenges. However, when strategically applied, talking about strategy now, trust situs can provide tax benefit for all parties involved in managing or benefiting from the trust. When they say all parties, they're talking about the grantor, the trustee, the trust protector, the trust administrator, and the beneficiaries. For example, there could be a situation in which a state situs trust has beneficiaries in other states. The state situs authority could try to tax trust income for the benefit of a state resident. The key is the connection that potentially would cause the state situs authority to tax the trust. There could be several factors that a state might use to establish a connection. What is a trust situs? Situs is the state that the trust originated and whose laws will govern the trust. For tax purposes, a trust may be taxed in any state for which it is determined to be a resident. See what they're saying? So, your trust is a resident in Taiwan. That's where your trust is a resident at. Mm-hmm. On the governing state definition of residency. This could, now remember something now. When I was having you all to do the SS4, and in that box number 1, you gave the legal entity name, and then you gave them the trustee names, right? Then you gave them the responsible party. And in box number 7B, you told them that you didn't have a social and you don't have one to that spiritual name, right? And then they say, what's the foreign country? You told them Taiwan. I hope y'all listen to what I'm saying. Now, this could be based on the location. Listen to this now. This could be based on the location of the grantor, the location of the trustee or trust administrator, or the location of the beneficiaries. In general, for tax purposes, trust situs is determined by the combined jurisdictions that have the legal authority to tax a trust or trustees. Pay attention now. beneficiaries and fiduciaries can use citus analysis to locate areas with the fewest or least impactful tax laws and select the best locations for tax benefits or creditor protection. To whom does trust citus apply? Now listen now. To whom does trust citus apply? Trust citus applies to most beneficiaries, fiduciaries, and trustees. A trust can reside in several jurisdictions simultaneously, potentially making it taxable under multiple set of laws or regulations. Trust can also be taxed by multiple jurisdictions in separate states based on where trustees or beneficiaries reside. This is why I told you all I am having you to do opposite of what happened when you were babies. Your new spiritual name is not attached with a birth certificate and social security number. First off. Furthermore, your new spiritual name and trust name is not under the jurisdiction of the United States. Both are cited under Taiwan. Let me give you an example. If a grantor creates a trust in Nevada and all the beneficiaries live in that state, the trust will be taxed based on that state laws. The grantor of your trust created the citus of the Express Trust in Taipei City, Taiwan. And guess what? All of your grantor, your trust protector, your beneficiaries, and your trustees are all under the citus of the Express Trust in Taipei City, Taiwan. So anybody coming, and even if they're coming asking you about the grantor, you're not privy to give that information because you don't fall under the jurisdiction of the United States. See, y'all got to understand I'm skilled at this. This is why you chose Taiwan. Your trust is under the citus of Taiwan.
Y'all ain't gonna hear this from nowhere else. They don't want you to have this information.
I gotta give them the punchline.
Go ahead.
If the beneficiaries change their residence to New York, it doesn't change the citus of the trust. Did y'all hear that? So if y'all want to move from any 50 states in your union, it doesn't matter because your citus is Taipei, Taiwan.
Wow.
Do y'all get what I'm saying to you all? So no matter where you take that property and file it into the county record, they have a citus. But when you're filed into the record, it's already made known the citus of your trust is Taiwan. This is why they can't hit you with no tax and tell you to keep paying a mortgage. Because of the citus. What are some additional considerations? When considering a legal location of trust citus, it's important to bear in mind that citus laws change continuously. And it still won't apply to you all, even if they change their laws every day. Why? It's because your citus is Taiwan. For example, listen to this one now. And I told you all in box number 3, I told you all to make me your trustee. But there was a reason why I told you that. And I'm going to give you the reason right now. Listen to it. For example, trustee selection often impacts citus. Let me read it one more time. Trustee selection often impacts citus. Many states determine citus based on the locations of the trustee. Oh, you all didn't hear me. and then, or the administration of the trust. So in other words, your trustee is foreign to the United States Federal Corporation. Box number 3 on the SS4. I told you to put me in there and also your new spiritual name, because your new spiritual name is also not tied to the United States. And that's why when they was asking you for the social, I told you what to tell them. And then you told them, and this entity is being formed outside of the United States. You all was really doing your spiders when you was talking to them over the phone, getting your of your SS4, getting your 98 EIN number. You was giving them your status then. You didn't even know that. When looking at various factors, careful consideration should be given to the trustee selection and where they are located and will continue to be located. In other words, Brother Alfred Muhammad Bey is not a citizen to the United States. I have that court order because the court order tells you who you are and who you are not. And you all are doing the same thing as what I'm showing you if you follow the pattern. Finally, in June 2019, the United States Supreme Court case, North Carolina Department of Revenue versus Kimberly Rice Kessler, 1992 Family Trust. The court ruled that a trust beneficiary's residence in another state no longer establishes enough of a connection for it to tax the trust. So you all could never be taxed. This is what the Supreme Court said. North Carolina Department of Revenue versus Kimberly, Kimberley, Rice, R-I-C-E, Kessler, Kastner, 1992 Family Trust. The court ruled that a trust beneficiary's residence in another state no longer establishes enough of a connection for it to tax the trust. This could create significant tax relief for some trusts. Now, family, now since you know where your situs is located, you could never be taxed on that property anymore. The county could never get any more ad valorem tax from you. I told you all, if you all just follow along with me, I know what I'm doing. I'm skilled at it now. I've been doing it a little longer than you all. But I got the mindset for it because I think this stuff through. And I'm only trying to guide you, but you can't be stiff-necked, hard-hearted, and rebellious. I know, trust me, I know you got your doubts. I know that because I done seen people lose their homes too, family. I've seen people lose their homes, messing around with dirty Moors. Okay? But see, I'm one of the good Samaritans. I did not keep walking on by you. Remember the story? There was a man who went down from Jerusalem to Jericho.
Yes,
and he fell among thieves. And then it was the priest who came walking. And he just looked at it. And he kept on going. And then there was the Levite. He looked at it. And he kept on going. And then you had that good Samaritan that came. And he looked at it. And he told the innkeeper, get him up and take him in, and I'll pay you on my return.
Wow.
You see, family, I didn't keep going. Even after I was getting my ass beat, you wasn't there with me. So I had to take it. And there was I felt like quitting. But the little God back there saying, no, son, you can't quit. Can't quit. You got to keep going because there are others you're going to have to teach this to. So here we are today. See, I done been through it, family. My experience make me to where I am with this here. You see, I'm not going to fail you. I know what I'm doing, even though I know you're afraid. Because you never thought in a million years that you can take a house, a mortar and brick, and put it into a trust, and you free. I know, because I once thought just like you. But I'm here to tell you now, listen, there's always been mortgage warfare against you and I. And this is what they're still continuing to do. Only if you're allowed it due to your fear. So you got to release that fear and go forward. You heard the sister tonight. She felt great after she did it. So family, this is why you all made me your trustee. So even if the courts want to bring you in, guess what? Ain't nothing I got for the courts. Why? It's because my situs is not set up in their jurisdiction. I just told you, many states determine the situs based on the location of the trustee. And you, with your new spiritual names, you are also set up in Taiwan. That's the kill shot right there. I hope y'all got that. On that note, Hank, we can close it out.
Hey, listen, family, I had to post, I don't know why I did this, Professor, and my brother Timothy L. I put a quote up by Benjamin Pitchfork Tillman. And family, I'm going to read it to you before we close out. And he's a Democrat, okay? This Benjamin Pitchfork Tillman, look it up, was a Southern Democrat governor.
That's fact.
Now we will have to kill 1,000 niggas to put them back in their place. This is a quote, okay? It has been the settled purpose of the leading white men of Edgefield to seize the first opportunity that the Negroes might offer to provoke a riot and teach the Negroes a lesson, as it was generally believed that nothing but bloodshed and a good deal of it could answer the purpose of redeeming the state from Negro and carpetbag rule. We believed in terrorizing the Negroes at the first opportunity by letting them provoke trouble and then having the whites demonstrate their superiority by killing as many of them as was justifiable. That's your Democrat.
Democrat.
Sound like a Ku Klux Klan to me.
But Malcolm said a Democrat ain't nothing but a Dixie track. All of them wear the same clothes.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we close out, family, here's the banners. Professor Bay can be reached. Mr. Bay 33169 at gmail.com or number 786-624-8257. And those of you who have a generous heart, if you have a little extra cash app, dollar bill Moors 33054, Alfred Thompson. Dollar bill Moors 33054, Alfred Thompson. I want to thank all of you who have been a part of this audience tonight. Thank you, Professor Bay. Thank you, Timothy L.
Thank you, family. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Brother Hank.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Percy Patah L. Thank you, Felicia,
You're welcome, sir.
for a fantastic, informative program tonight. And we give thanks to our ascended master ancestors. And we say together, Ashe, Aho,
Ashe.
Dona Da.
Ashe,
Say
good night.
often, yes, I am supreme shield of protection surrounding me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am remembering all I was born to do. Yes, I am. Take hold of your crystal, which will magnify your I am affirmations at least 600%. If you don't have a pistol, you better have a crystal.